Hello and welcome to the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. It's January the 5th, Tuesday, 2021. Welcome to everybody joining us live for another wonderful episode of Breaking Bitcoin. Bitcoin overnight has managed to bounce up from the big sell-off from yesterday's big sell-off, and of course that's turned it, the buyback, I guess is the word I was looking for, and the wick is formed quite the wick there on yesterday's candle. Now we've
19%.
Seems like the volatility,
biggest dip in Bitcoin history,
something like that, and things are looking pretty good. Looks like maybe you should have bought the dip. If you didn't, please tell us in the live chat how much you regret it now.
Should have bought the dip in alts.
Yeah.
I mean, Bitcoin looks good here, but alts are looking better.
Yeah, one glance.
And with what we've been seeing with alts, I mean, they've been bleeding out here, and this is a chance for Bitcoin to go sideways as we're seeing. And guess what? Like we've been saying, look at crypto bubbles, man. It's just a sea of green out there right now.
Yeah, one look at bubbles, and we can see here that LRC is the standout.
I may be declaring today the beginning of the season because
don't you jinx us.
No. Well, I have good reason. I will show you the charts. And I will show you guys why I feel that. I have evidence. This is
fundamentally.
Yes, I know. No, technically, I have chart evidence. So I have technical evidence why I believe that to be true. It's not just a gut feeling. So.
Yep.
You liar.
One look at bubbles today, we can see that LRC is by far one of the biggest gainers of the day, up 75%. Among the other big gainers, we have XLM up a solid 33%, SNX Synthetics token 30%, Numenair 25%, Algorand 24%, this Avalanche coin 27%. Everything else deep in the green. Seems like the alt bags are getting a little love today.
Except TRX.
I got out of Algo because it wasn't moving, and I've gotten to KNC instead. And KNC did move, mind you, but not as much as Algo did.
Yeah, I'm glad I got a bag.
Yeah, sea of green though, so shout-outs to...
That's what happens when you screw around with your portfolio, guys.
Can't go flip-flopping.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, that's how it is. You know, we all got to trade our own accounts.
All right, Jason, don't forget to go live, and...
I should be.
No, I booted you out again. Beyond that, of course, so we will be exploring, I guess, most of the major markets. Quick rundown of the show schedule today. Probably going to go another 2 hours again, everyone. First hour, we're going to cover some of the majors like Bitcoin and Ethereum, then transition quickly into the alts. Maybe touch on commodity markets and Forex. I do know that I think we want to look at oil.
Across all the markets.
Big day, and it's a big day in Washington today, but let's not go any further into that. I'm worried they're probably shadow banning all topics related to what's going on in DC.
Have to be.
Hour 2, we're going to definitely get into chart requests, so you guys know the drill. Our loyal followers of the live chat, leave your requests there, and I will gather them during the course of the show. I'm pretty diligent at vacuuming every last one up, so rest assured, if you leave a chart request, I'll probably get it. And our analysts will definitely be looking at those charts by hour 2, live on the air. Finally, we might circle around. If we have enough time, we will go in depth into a few of these stories we have lined up for today. Let's quickly review what's going on. One of them, of course, being is Justin Sun supposedly dispelling rumors that Tron is under regulatory scrutiny. Something many people might have heard by now is that Tron is next on the SEC's chopping block. Tron very well could be in trouble. Even if it doesn't necessarily amount to anything, even a bit of rumor circulating that the SEC is going to be looking at them. Well, we saw what happened with XRP. Tron and Ripple might be in trouble. Any bags related to Tron, such as their BitTorrent token, for instance, could see sell-off. Whether or not, again, this news amounts to anything significant. Of course, there's a nice Twitter thread, which I think is now deleted, but Justin Sun supposedly dispelling all the FUD, and says how it's unfortunate that information can be distorted and blown out of proportion in our industry. So obviously he's trying to pour water on the flames, but...
the guy who announces announcements is upset that information gets distorted in this industry.
Yep. Well, indeed, the bell tolls potentially for Justin Sun this early January week, so we will see and follow the story, maybe explore a little more later. Got a couple other interesting things to bring up. This one's also a pretty big story in the space. So the OCC, which is the Comptroller of the Currency Office, this regulator implements groundbreaking cryptocurrency guidance for banks in the future of payments. I think the long and the short of this is I think they're approving major commercial banks to settle and transfer stablecoins and other cryptocurrency assets. So yes, the system is preparing to embrace cryptocurrency from the looks of it. Something we've been talking about on the show, something I've been talking about frequently, is the idea that fairly soon your local banking institution may very well be offering some kind of custodial wallet services for you to deposit your Bitcoin. In an uglier scenario, they might very well outlaw private wallets and insist you move your assets off private wallets onto custodial wallets. But even in the worst case scenario,
got me fucked up. Never.
I know. But the question is at what cost, right? Or what price would you be willing to sell your soul and your private wallet onto? I mean, you still might control your assets, right? But what would it take? Would $1 million Bitcoin be enough to dangle in front of you to get you to deposit your thing? Because think about it, it's that or, well, buddy, if you don't deposit your...
At that point, you've won, to be honest with you. But
yeah, exactly. So that's what I mean. For the reasonable people that are down, middle of the road, law-abiding, tax-paying, normal people,
they probably won't even have a chance to get into Bitcoin, to be honest with you.
Not necessarily. I mean, I'm just saying people like us at the circle and probably people in the live chat, right? If the government said, listen, we're outlawing your private wallet, you got to deposit your stuff at the local bank. You're going to say no, maybe at the current price. But if they say that, listen, Bitcoin now at $250,000 or Bitcoin's at $1 million, and if you deposit it, well, we can turn that into fiat for you, and you can play along in the world. If not, you'll never ever, we promise, we'll never get that money off-ramped back into the system. So it's your way or our way, which way you want to play it. And I imagine if they dangled a sweet enough deal in front of us, many of us reasonable people would probably consider it. But I guess that is a more philosophical discussion to be had later. Finally, let's get into another story here. This one, of course, the on-again, off-again news that the Grayscale Trust is removing XRP from its... I've got a new router on the way, but unfortunately, looks like it kind of blows up in my face on a frequent basis now. Cut out again. Okay, here we go. Let's see here. Is the stream still going?
We're back.
We're back? All right, looks like we're back. All right, sorry about that, everybody, but my router, I think, if you guys have noticed, I'm gone again, aren't I? No, looks like I'm good. I can always hear you. My download stays permanent, so I can see the chat. I can hear the other analysts, but clearly my upload drops to 0. So do let me know if I do cut out at any moment. It sounds like I'm missing. Tell me, because then I know right away.
All right, I'll DM you if you
or just shout it out. Just be like hello like you normally do, and then I'll know. But yes, welcome back everybody. I am here. Yeah, because my download isn't up, my upload dies. And
hello.
Don't mess with me, bro.
Man.
Don't tell me that again. So long. All right, I have no choice but to restart my router.
Technical difficulties.
We're back?
Are we?
Are we back?
Yeah. Jack?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm worried that literally in the next 12 seconds it's going to drop again. So I might have to go restart the router and try again. And I might have to start a new stream, guys, because if it keeps cutting out, then the only thing that seems to fix is restarting the router or until my new router shows up in the mail. Am I still coming through?
Yep.
You're still coming through.
All right, fingers crossed. If not, guys, if this drops again, I have no other choice. I have to go restart the router. That fixes it.
Okay. All right, well, let's not drag it out then. We'll continue onwards, and if you drop, don't even come back. Just restart the router.
Just do it.
We'll do. Apologies to everybody for the weird start. As you can see,
You guys might have to find the next show.
Yeah, you might have to go to our channel and see the fresh thing, fresh video created. Yep, my apologies again. You might have noticed lately my connection seems to drop out more and more frequently. I think the router is on its last legs. It's the damnedest thing, but I got a new one on the way, so my apologies for all the disturbances. I try to keep everything on point here technically, but what can you do? All right, so as I was saying before I got cut off, the on-again, off-again story of the Grayscale Trust, supposedly XRP Army insisting that XRP was not removed or sold off by Grayscale. In fact, I remember hearing that they bought more. Well, it turns out that that might not be the case. It's removing XRP from its large cap fund, so more trouble in XRP land, despite what the XRP Army might be saying to the contrary. And finally, another chapter in the institutional investment tale, publicly traded Nasdaq company, following in the heels of MicroStrategy. The Malaysian section of Green Pro Capital is now, let's see here, allocating about, where was it? Not too sure, but they're piling in into $100 million Bitcoin. So $100 million worth of Bitcoin added to the Green Pro treasury. Seems like institutions are buying. With that
drop in the bucket.
With that said, guys, let's not delay any further. Let's get into the main scene here, and I'm gonna get Alex to tell us about the markets. Alex, let me just confirm I have you on screen. I do. I see you're currently looking at the live window. And in fact, before I let you get into it, you can change to your chart, Alex. And I'm going to quickly shout out everybody in the chat. Let's see who's here first today. Stun Gun. Shout outs to Stun Gun. Welcome, Stun Gun. Bruto Martins is in here. Jezza Coin, Replug, B-Flow, Wayne Arnott, Jason Brown. I'm going to do this fast today. BDGR, Jonah Love the Show, Vladimir, Challenge Investor, PMCL93, DJ Del Rossi, Vladimir, Vitality Inbound. Well, we got a lot of people in here. Profit Bear, Vidush, and Challenge Investor. Mention him. Right. You got to scroll past and let him do everything. Also, of course, I have one other thing to mention. Of course, we did put out a tender for a contract to do the timestamping for our show. Well, we did. I am happy to announce that we did find. Am I broken up again?
No, we were doing a drum roll.
Oh, gotcha. Thank God. Yes. So we had several outstanding candidates come through. You guys know some of the regulars in the chat, more than qualified to probably timestamp for us, such as T-Dub, B-Flow, Joe Mama, and a gentleman.
Skilled labor though it is, so many of you are qualified to do this work.
Indeed.
To be honest with you, one of you went above and beyond, and that's what sealed it for you. So.
Yes, it did. Every one of you guys jumped on the ball. You were all messaging me right away, and it was a tough call because I like all you guys. You guys are all very much regulars and seemingly dependable. But Damian Hughes is the man who stepped up. So, Damian Hughes, congratulations! You are a new timestamper in chief. We've set you up, I believe, overnight with a special role in the Discord, and. Yeah, so he's welcome to the team, welcome to the staff. It's nice to have Damian Hughes aboard as our timestamper. So this will surely improve our daily streams and our reposting of the stream. After we do 2-hour streams, they do run quite a bit long. It's much more easier to review them when there's timestamps below that kind of reference all the things, all the markets that we look at. So timestamps very, very important to our shows, and thank you to Damian Hughes for stepping up and filling that role. So welcome to the team, and shout outs to Damian Hughes. I don't see him in the live chat, but maybe he's already diligently working on the stamp. So with today's, of course, weird error in the start might kind of mess up the work of the timestamping, but hey, that's what you're paying me for. All right. Valamir says I can write a script to do that. All right, well, you'd have to message us and tell us how that would work, but I think it does require a bit of, hands-on.
Interesting coding if you can do it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's easily automatable, not to the degree.
I think Google and Facebook would want to talk to you about that algorithm.
Right. That'd be pretty sweet, man.
Indeed. All right, Alex, switch to your charts if you could, please. And
I've been on the charts, buddy.
Oh, you know what? Maybe I'm looking at Jason's screen. My mistake. Yes.
Am I looking at bubbles?
No, 1 second. You know what? Here we go. Weird. It says extreme failed to start. Alex, would you mind restarting your live thing?
This works. I'm watching it right now.
Because of the error that I dealt with earlier.
Okay. Is this better?
Very strange. Very strange.
Yes, it's not better.
Fail. No, it's not working now. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's working because Jason says it is, but at the moment. All right, stand by, guys. Hang tight real quick. I'm just going to try to make a quick fix on my end. All right, hang tight, everybody. I just need to see if I can restart. I decided to restart Discord in an attempt to fix the issue, and fingers crossed it works. It does. All right, Alex, my apologies for the delay, but I now have you on screen, and we are ready to talk charts. Let's start with Bitcoin.
Here we go.
All right, well, we'll start with Bitcoin. Obviously, that's what everyone is looking at. Essentially, overnight, we briefly broke the daily uptrend, but we managed to recover back over it, closed above it yesterday, and since then, wicked back below it, closed, have not closed above it yet, but we're pretty bullishly postured, I think. So far, the pitchfork that we drew out a couple weeks ago continues to act as dynamic support and resistance. Here you see that it has reacted as support right here, boom and boom. This is nice. This is good and validating for our TA. Currently, we don't have a long signal on lower time frames for Bitcoin. As you can see, WADA is not yet, we don't have positive momentum yet. We're just kind of still sideways. We're just peaking above zero on our oscillator, and we're not even above the baseline yet. So nothing really to do here on the 4 hour.
I will admit that I am watching that 4 hour right now because I have a more sensitive system that is building towards a long currently, but we still have 2 hours till close. So I'm definitely watching that right now.
Yeah, on the hourly, there was a solid PTP signal right around here. You could have taken it here, somewhere around here. And most likely you're at take profit 2, or maybe even right around here would probably be 3 at that point. We can see that if we pull out Quadriga, which is the ATR based indicator that we provide our members to help with their position sizing. There's nothing special or magical about it. This calculates take profits and stop losses based off an ATR multiplier. 1, 2, and 3 ATRs for the take profits, 1.5 for the stop loss. And we're using an average true length of 21 right here.
And to be honest with you guys, this tool is way more important to me than it makes it look like it is, because one of the biggest problems that I had coming into trading was I had a real problem with taking profits when I thought I needed to. And now that I trade using Quadriga, literally every single time it hits 1 ATR, I'm taking profit, 2 ATR, I'm taking profit. It just works better for me, and I lock in that profit instead of just sitting there wondering, should I exit? Should I do this? Should I do that? Like, just do it every single trade and then move on to the next trade. That's the only way to do it, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. So here you see what the take. I've used the bar replay function to go back in time to when we received the signal, which is roughly here and here. Like these two are where we finally got a valid signal. We're below the qualifying line, above the baseline. We're above zero here. So this is a full PTP signal at this point. So you take profit 1. Take profit 2, and we play it forward, and you see how this is actually a rather useful tool.
Yeah, that's why I keep historical price on Quadriga, so you can just see that.
So take profits 1 and 2 right here.
Definitely hit. Yep.
Yeah, really. So yeah, but that trade is over. Right now, there's just nothing for us to do. We're kind of waiting to make sure that Bitcoin really is going up here. So closing above the baseline, our oscillator being above 0, and finally getting some positive momentum here. That'll be a good sign for us to long the lower time frames. As far as the daily, there's nothing for us to do. If we could get another cross up here, that'll be a great continuation long signal. We can get back into a daily signal on Bitcoin again. But until we do, nothing to do right now.
If we do, man, that is quite the parabolic trend that we're hanging on to.
Yeah, so I would say if you're watching it and want to know what to do with Bitcoin right now, nothing. If
you're not in it, nothing. Yeah. If you're not in it,
yeah. So we don't have a 4-hour long signal. The hour signal is exhausted, and the daily still needs to cross up before we'll get anything resembling a continuation. So I think that about settles it for Bitcoin right now. Resistance above us is still somewhere in the range of 36,000 to 38,000. I've also seen 40,000, depending on how you do the fib levels. But
45, I've been saying it.
Yeah, but the point is that the major resistance is not the one that we hit. Wherever it is, we haven't reached it yet.
We haven't touched it yet.
Yeah, and this is
because you'd likely see some blow off top action on that. And we're just not seeing that. I mean, we're seeing the absorption to the bottom, which could be represented as a hangman candle. But with what's happening, we might get just bullish continuation.
I could see an argument being made for this beginning to establish a distribution area, with this being a buying climax and then a sign of weakness right here.
Then sideways.
So we have a sign of weakness. Chances are we close up here and then come back down, trade sideways, and then begin to break down. So
go ahead, Jack.
I've got a question here from the live chat, kind of semi-relevant, and I'm sure it's on the top of many newer members' minds. This comes from Vitality Inbound. Is BTC in a run-up to 35K? So I'm guessing everybody's
wondering. Well, that's kind of what we're talking about right now.
Indeed, but any thought? Oh, okay, I'll let you finish your.
I got nothing more to say about it. It looks like it's going up. It could turn around at any moment. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, we're floating in purgatory here right now.
Yeah, which looks like we're turning up for sure.
So this is what a distribution area looks like in Wyckoff terms. So this is the point of supply right here. I believe PSY. The buying climax, automatic retrace. This is a secondary test, sign of weakness, up thrust.
And that technically would be what we're getting right now is the up thrust.
Here's an example on like an actual price chart where you can see the buying climax, signs of weakness. And then, we trade sideways and upwards and even make a new high, but ultimately that high is just designed to kind of like fake people out one last time before we finally break down. I advise you guys, for those of you who are interested in these sorts of things, definitely look up Wyckoff and Wyckoffian accumulation distribution. Really interesting stuff. Let's see. All right. So enough on Bitcoin right now. Ethereum is arguably more bullishly postured. We didn't have as big a wick down, but I'm not super pleased with the waning volume. I would much rather see the volume increasing on a bullish thrust as more people pile into it, not fewer people piling into it. But there's no sell signal or anything like that yet. As a matter of fact, I would definitely consider this to if we close this. This is a relatively bullish break, where we traded sideways, but our oscillator reset, got a continuation long signal, and we made a new high right here. So, unlike Bitcoin, you could take this 4-hour close right here as a long. I would consider that. What do you think?
Yeah,
Jason?
I mean, for continuation, you don't even need most of that stuff, and you're getting actually everything that you would need for a proper long signal. So yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you even have rising explosion level, volatility's rising, and that pattern right there. I mean, that looks like a bull pennant for sure. I mean, that looks like the continuation of the bull pennant on Bitcoin that we were getting at like 12K.
Mm-hmm. So this is the bull pennant that you are
Yes.
about, presumably. Okay. Let me turn off Quadriga here. It's just visually confusing. Okay. Well, it's.
I mean, you could even build the case for an ascending triangle there as well. I mean, look at the two tops there. But I do like the bull pennant scenario.
Well, if we draw it from wicks, then the bull pennant definitely makes more sense.
Yeah, and with higher time frames, you'd probably have to use those.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, right. I mean, especially on the hourly right there, that looks like a great signal. Right above the baseline, you have rising explosion level.
It is a good signal. I don't know.
But TT's a little too high for me on that one. You're already in purple dot territory.
Yeah. Well, I think probably Ethereum is just a little bit more bullishly postured right here. Let's look at Ethereum Bitcoin. I would say that actually Ethereum Bitcoin looks like it's in for a bit of a reversal right here at this time.
It does look a little toppy.
Let's look at this on the daily. And hold on. There we go.
I think that daily is going to be able to tell you everything. The close of the daily. Likely close an indecision candle. But
Yeah.
we could just get some legs here. Who knows? I mean, look, the Bitcoin in the last 4 hours has moved what, $1,000? Like,
yeah. Well, I don't know. Ethereum Bitcoin is pushed up really hard in the local point of control, and on lower time frames, I think it'd be totally normal for it to pull back here towards what I mean.
Yeah, it would be healthy, at least towards the top of the trend line.
I have too many lines here. You know what? This chart has too much baggage. Let's start over.
Let's do a hoarders episode.
Yeah.
You're hurting them by hoarding them.
What? Oh.
They're all bad.
I did not delete them. Like a hoarder, I just swept everything under the rug.
There you go. Don't come in.
So this is what's important, is that we have this break of trend right here.
Yeah, I could totally see us going sideways and then resting on that trend line and then finally getting enough momentum.
Support, resistance right here. Okay. So yeah, just pulling back into pull back into this area right here. Kind of retest and continue onwards. Because looking at this on the weekly, there's no way we don't have follow through on this. This is incredibly strong buyback on this. Essentially we came back down, retested the local market point of control, and just took off right off of it.
Well, I would also add to that a close looking like that, because there's still quite a bit left in the week.
I suppose that's true.
Like if that gets sold into and closed below that trend line, that would completely be invalidated.
Yeah, that is true. But with these two wicks down into this area, I highly doubt we're coming down here.
I mean, I would agree with you, and I think that you would probably likely see another wick like that to the downside and then close above that trend line, because you start seeing all that price absorption. And if that were to happen, that would be just a full-scale go to me.
Anyway, lower time frames, it looks like Bitcoin is going to be doing a little better than ETH. But for higher time frames, I would bet on ETH for the near midterm. Okay, so so that's Bitcoin and Ethereum, but what about like everything else? So I think the important things to pay attention to once again here are the alt indices. And you will finally see why I say alt season is here, and that is because we have begun making new all-time highs on shit perp futures.
Yay.
I mean, that's it. Like this was like the previous all-time high. This was the end of alt season before. And here we are, we're topping it, guys. to me, this is a sure sign that we are about to get a real alt season again. That's super bullish. Mid-perp. New highs in alts. Alt perp, super new highs. I told you this one was a little stronger. Exchange coins, still going for it. Privacy coins are suffering here. This still could be because of what happened with the Bittrex delisting. I'm going to keep my eyes on it. I may short these. It's a nice hedge too. Being able to short, some set of alts. At least then, you're not all one direction in the market. XMR is a good privacy coin to take a look at. I don't know. We're not seeing much selling going on here. If we get a bounce off of here, maybe privacy coins will just take off with everything else. We'll see how much the markets care. Keep my eyes on it. If we do end up breaking this trend right here by the end of this week, this will be a really amazing short.
Yep, some mean bearish divergence.
Yep. Uniswap coins still under resistance here, but holding stronger than I had thought it was going to. So we still have all this area that we can trade sideways on Uniswap tokens and still maintain our daily trend. So I would be a little shocked if we just kept going straight upwards on Uniswap tokens, because this is not making new highs in the way that shitcoins are making highs.
But can we take a minute to just go back to
DeFi coins are making
DeFi perp? We've been talking about this forever, guys, and that triple top formation. Then when we got above the baseline, it's very unlikely that we were going to break down from there. And look at that. I mean, that's just beautiful.
This is really beautiful. And this area that we have been looking at for weeks and weeks as support resistance, it finally did its job. Ultimate support right here. Final time gets retested.
And if you had any orders in there, you are doing well. I mean, they won't give it to you, but I'll give you a clap.
Well, thank you. I've
got a question here from Necrogenosis in the live chat. Looks like a newer user. They got an interesting predicament, and we're talking about alts, so let's quickly read this one and get your boys' thoughts. So what are some alts to Bitcoin? So I guess what alts to Bitcoin are you guys looking at? In 2018, I sold my Bitcoin in the thousands. I messed up really bad. I'm going to save around $400 next week to reinvest into crypto. I love listening to you guys. Wish you all the best. All right, Mr. Genosis, thank you so much for your comment.
Yeah.
But he needs to get back in the game, and he's looking at alt to BTCs.
First of all, never get mad at yourself for taking profit or selling something. There was no way to know. I mean, you just got to leave all that stuff in the past, man. Because if you start using the what ifs, you'll never move forward, because you'll be like, well, I used to have this much, and well, you don't anymore. So it's time to start over. And I mean, with what you're doing, that sounds great, man. And you can't really just give you a coin to be like, hey, put your money in this, and then it's going to do great. I mean, you're already doing the right things, like watching the show every day, and I'm sure that there's going to be plenty of opportunities that pop up when we go through these things. So be safe with your money. I mean, treat that $400 like it's $1 million. You should trade $1 million the exact same way you trade $400, and just look for the thing. What's that?
Well, watch out for slippage, of course, but otherwise.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's different rules when you start getting into a bunch more money, but the premise is there. That at that point, you need to look for things and assets that have the liquidity that can match your assets and stuff. But for what you're doing, I think that's I think you're taking a step in the right direction. Don't get all confused and mad because you lost money or potential profit, because technically you didn't lose anything. You just sold something that was valued at that, and now it's valued at this. So take it.
Yeah,
go for it.
We will look at alt Bitcoin pairings, and I'm sure I will point out ones that look good, but I'm not going to make any portfolio suggestions. I'm glad that you're getting back into crypto, but you're in the same boat that all of us are. We want to buy stuff low and then sell it really high and make money off of it. So welcome, and I hope that some of the things that you see today make you some cash.
Today
sure.
would definitely be the day to watch the show, because Alex even said that he might even be predicting an alt run here. So it might be the time.
I absolutely
Well,
do
I think the charts show that the alt
Yeah,
run
I agree with you.
Yep.
Yeah, whereas before we suspected that maybe the
not.
season, like, this is the proof. This is the proof that we needed. We're making new highs on very bullishly on these indices of all the different alts.
Yeah, you picked the perfect time to come out of crypto retirement, basically. And if you watch the show closely, as the analysts go through the alts, they usually kind of make it clear what looks good. And if you watch on a regular basis, I think you'll get enough free hot tips on here to probably point you in the right direction. Otherwise,
just look at DeFi perp.
otherwise, I'd say at this point, alt season's about to begin. Any of the alts in the top 20, top 50 could be somewhat safe bets. They might not have like outsized returns, but somewhat safe bets. If I were to just give you a quick answer as to what to look for, seems like everything's going to pop off during everything, but maybe but XRP might pop off.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
stay tuned.
It's something that we always go back to, is a rising tide lifts all ships, man. And we just seen an explosion of people buying Bitcoin, and it's just unrealistic that all of these are going to stay at their lows when Bitcoin goes sideways. So, there's going to be opportunities here. You just have to be patient and diligent in finding them. And that's kind of the whole point of the show, is we go through it every day and kind of look at what's strong, because what looks strong right now might not look strong at close. That's the importance of this.
All right, so hopefully that covers Genosis's question, but let's continue with the different FTX indices for now.
Well, that's the majority of the indices.
Gotcha.
Like, these are all the major. These are all the major baskets of altcoins. These are the Asian coins. You can see this is kind of suffering because this relies a lot on Tron. Tron is a big Asian coin, or at least they consider it one. This is not my opinion. This is the coins that FTX has decided to include in the Asian Dragon Index perp future. So, if any of you find that racist or something, please feel free to write FTX all about it. Let's see. Yeah, so basically this is telling us for right now, shitcoins and DeFi coins are what our biggest gainers are going to be found on. And you can see that because they've just pulled so far away ahead of everything else. Bitcoin's put in a 4% day, but DeFi's up 8%, shitcoins are up 9%. That's a whole lot of extra money that's pouring into them percentage-wise that is not pouring into Bitcoin. We see this somewhat reflected on Bitcoin Dominance, which has continued to pull back up until this morning, when we've had a little bit of a pullback as Bitcoin has risen here. Let's see, the last few hours. So Bitcoin clawing back some of that money right now, but money's still pouring into DeFi, and which is making a new high here, and I think a new all-time high actually. And shitcoins, which are making a new all-time high here. So let's open those up. So DeFi, synthetics just continues going. I should have just bought synthetics and then walked away from everything else in my life, and then we'd be good. Comp is winding up here. We're getting a very nice. I can put the baseline back on now. We're off the weekly. Initial long signal here on comp. We'll put this on at the end of today.
Yep.
Swipe. Yep. So this is a very nice long signal. We're crossing the baseline here. We're above zero on our oscillator, and we also put in a nice cross up bottom above zero. And WADA, which is our momentum and volatility indicator, it's giving us a nice little signal here, showing us that we have both momentum and the volatility to take this trade. So this is looking really nice right here. I love it. So taking that at the end of the day for the group. Nothing really to do right here on YFI. We don't have enough momentum. We're still trapped below this resistance, as you can see. YFII starting to give us a signal. We just don't have enough momentum yet. We want to be above the dead zone, shown right here.
And that would be an initial signal, so you need all of them.
Yeah. All right, tell you what. Let's go. We'll look at the Bitcoin pairings. I wish I could just look at DeFi Bitcoin pairings, but a lot of these are going to be found on our shitcoin list, which are all Bitcoin pairings. Let's run through it. So these low cap coins and some of the mid caps are in the shitcoin list. Binance, yeah, but it's based more on market cap, and FTX sort of has an opinion about which coins belong in which baskets.
Yeah, privacy, exchange coins, DeFi.
It's not a perfect system. It's just a helpful heuristic for getting a sense of how the market moves.
Thanks to Jason for bringing that up. Indeed, there was a request here, or a question here from Satish. He says, how do we check for large, mid, and shit alts? Yes, that's exactly it. I think what we're looking at here was the FTX indices, right? So there is that exchange known as FTX. Those are all, I believe, futures markets, and it allows you to set positions, go long or short on baskets of currencies. And yes, they're grouped based on their own metrics, of course. I'm sure you can probably dig in a little deeper and find out what coins are included in each basket, but yes, it's a feature of the FTX exchange. It has some pretty nifty stuff just like that, so do check out FTX to learn more.
What he said.
I feel like you're going to see a lot of these charts break of trends in the Bitcoin pairings.
Yeah, there's a lot of trend breaks, and they're intriguing, but they're not necessarily convincing yet.
They're not signals yet, though.
There's a lot of resistance above us, in the same way that there was a lot of support here when we finally broke down. I would love to see us break back above 1,000 sats on ORN here, and then if we did that, that would be a sure sign that we were likely to continue onwards. But ORN does look really good on the USD pairing, so let's look at that.
Ooh, yeah, that looks strong.
Yeah, so this is the USD pairing for ORN. I like it. You can see we also have a trend break here. Very nice response to the trend break. We hold it, and we also see sellers kind of peter out. So ORN has potential here. Look out, that's right. This is looking very strong. Is this a trend break?
I don't think it is quite yet.
Yeah,
but you're almost there.
You know, arguably we could have one on lower time frames. Especially
well, it certainly looks like it's starting to set up, because now you're on top of that trend line, and you're also beginning to build support on top of the other local high there. So
okay, well, Avalanche has had a good day here. We did kind of get a long signal here, either here or here. This is a long signal.
Yeah, but depending on where you were taking that, if you were taking it on the last candle, you would have already hit TP1.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I think that one needs to wait till daily close to see if you're closing above that. Well, that certainly looks better.
Just in case you guys were wondering where that line came from, it's a weekly trend line. It wasn't a daily trend line. So, this feels really good to me. AVAX right here, where I would definitely consider this a break of trend with a bullish movement, and we have retested this area, so I don't feel like we necessarily have to come down and be around 325 anymore.
It's kind of like that stair-stepping spring behavior.
Yeah, if you could recapture this near 380, that would be great. Otherwise, I would probably just take this. AVAX is also a DeFi coin, so it's not simply a shitcoin. There we go. I'm not convinced there's anything yet to do here on Wing. And as a matter of fact, considering how everything else is taking off, do you really want something that's lagging so far behind everybody?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not interested in it.
It's like all the times people asked us to pick up Raven.
Yeah. Iris, nothing really to do here. No break of trend, still looks bad. CTSI, still looks bad. BTS, there's no bullish movements off the bottom right here. A little bit of volume coming in, but it all got sold into. Nothing on Ardor, AppCoin. So this is an alt season that is not necessarily touching every alt yet.
Mm-hmm.
CIS, maybe we have a break.
Starting to build some potential. You just don't have enough water there to do anything. I would consider that a break of trend, because usually when you see ones like that, especially with that price absorption coming out sideways, it's usually support building. And that looks like a nice inverse head and shoulders.
Yeah, potentially, but I am not convinced yet.
Oh, neither am I. Like, it's not a full signal. Just clearly it's not. The 12-hour might be giving you something, okay. But
so LOOM, definitely not there yet. Not a bullish enough reaction off the bottom for me. And still not even above the daily baseline. Loop ring, man, this is kind of already in our resistance area. So this is the buy zone I had marked out. We kind of ended up pretty far below it, actually. This doesn't look far on our logarithmic chart, but if you actually take the price range on it, yeah, there's a bit more drop for LRC. I had to hold through this, but I'm doing all right on LRC right now. The USDT pairing looks incredible. This is the previous all-time high. As you can see, we just shattered it. This is nearly 100.
Jesus.
Yeah, this is, or since earlier this week, LRC has put in a good 200 or 300%.
Just straight up.
So yeah, I spent months underwater on loop ring, but now I feel like a genius for having not done much with it. That's always a really good feeling when you just hold.
You're validated, yeah.
On the one hand, I like actively trading, but you can't beat getting more money for doing no work whatsoever.
Yeah, so patience is key. It always usually is, and it's the fine line you have to delve between on knowing when to get out of something after it's just gone too far, or whether it still has a chance.
Yeah. I like loop ring here. I see no reason why it won't continue to go. I mean, this week is just getting started. But I surely would not enter this candle. I would look for some kind of pullback. LRC.
Yeah,
just like a 200% move, since we haven't retested anything. So we could come all the way back down and retest 25 cents before we continue. So, and it would still be a healthy bullish movement. Blaze Bitcoin, I think we should seriously consider this. This was a really heavy mover during the last alt season. You remember that?
Yeah, I do, and it's one of the reasons why I traded it, I think, like 3 times. First time it was perfect, then the second 2 times I got eaten up. So I got a little vendetta against Blaze right now.
I like Blaze here. We almost have a signal, except we're not above 0 on our oscillator, but we're back above the baseline. Momentum is firing. We've got volatility. I would consider maybe taking Blaze here, which Blaze is Blue Zell, but it's BLC.
Going through my alts last night, everything was on the verge of giving me a signal, and like today is probably going to be the signal, especially because I use the 13. It's much more sensitive, and like today it's probably going to be a tough one to pick through.
And we're about to get a weekly signal here. Look at this. This is actually kind of cool. Where am I getting this? Is this a 3-day trend line, or am I just kind of fudging it a little bit? Where am I getting this trend line from? Yeah, okay. So it's a 3-day trend line, and I'm considering this to be a false breakout right here. So this is a fake out, and then the rest of the trend line does its thing, and then now we're breaking out of this trend line. Maybe. I think it looks really good here. I think Blue Zell looks really good. I like this spot. What is the USD? Because as you can see, we basically came down and retested the local point of control back down here.
Mhm.
So this feels like it is finished with its retracement. Oh my gosh, this is ready. Look at that. I want this.
I want this for you.
I want Blue Zell.
Oh yeah,
Please. Blue
that will
Zell.
be it'll be a full-on continuation signal for me on the end of the day.
Yeah, I'm so in for Blue Zell at this spot. I think this looks really incredible. So, Mr. Bitcoin pairing guy, this is one that I would totally consider to be an awesome Bitcoin pairing. Let's continue. This is just one out of many, folks. We'll put this on our watch list. Looks nice. Let's go on. Raven Bitcoin. We're still below the baseline, so we still don't have a signal on Raven Bitcoin here. This is so super ugly.
Yeah, it's just been getting murdered ever since March.
USDT pairing is firing. I would consider this to be a break of trend, but everything else is breaking trend too, so maybe not super special. But we do have a long signal on Raven USDT if, for whatever reason, you're a masochist and are in love with Raven. Let's continue onwards.
Gonna just cut in.
Bitcoin.
Gonna cut in real quick. I just wanted to mention we got a £5 sterling super chat from Philly Carr. So shout outs to Philly. Thank you for the £5. He does write that the key learning point for him in 2021 is managing the long-term trade. Alex, do you keep that as a separate trading account to reduce psychological pollution, or fiddling with trades in the safer or salter and smoker, so to speak? Yeah.
I do. If I have to have a swing trading account away from accounts where I have access to margin. I've discussed this with our members in the past, but maybe not recently on the air. But I totally have problems with over trading and using too much margin or too much leverage on trades. It especially doesn't help that I spend so much time buried in the charts due to the nature of my job. I kind of don't get to just set a trade and then walk away for a few days. I got to come back and make sure everybody's trades are updated and take profits and stuff like that. I kind of don't get to do that. So I will definitely, I will fiddle with trades and get myself kicked out of them or move a stop up too soon. If I'm messing around inside of my swing trading account. So I do try and keep them separate. Yeah, I can get myself into big trouble with margin trading if I'm not careful. So
anyone can.
Yeah. So for those of you who suffer from that, I suffer from that too. It doesn't necessarily have to be an impediment to being profitable, but you should know that about yourself.
Yeah.
And maybe, or at least one thing that I do is if I want to do margin trading, I'll put like 1% of my account and then play around with that on the margin account, usually get it liquidated. And then at least the rest of my account is safe from my awful margin trading habits.
Yeah, sometimes people just got to get it out, like you just have to mess with it a little bit. Like to where I know some people are like, I'm just going to go on there with $10 and then mess around with margin.
It can be really fun, on lower. It's not supposed to be fun, but it can be. I mean, there's a lot of price moves. Oh my gosh, now it's moving. It's against me. It's for me. Oh, I'm up like 100% on this position. It's great. But then, of course, you tend to lose over time.
Oh yeah, especially trading that way.
Yeah, and the lower time frames are just noisy. So, to answer Phil's question, yep, I totally have to have a separate account because it will totally psychologically pollute me. If I'm in there trying to do short-term trades in the same account that I'm swing trading in.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I think that what you brought up is a good point because it's very important to realize that every single person is different. Everyone's going to have their own hill to climb, and they don't necessarily have to be anything that hinders your trading. What they need to be is something that you are self-aware of, and then you get around them by figuring out however works for you. But simply ignoring them is the worst thing you could do because you're going to end up doing it again, over and over again.
Mhm.
So it's very important to be honest with yourself on what you struggle with and work on it, and not just keep. Well, I mean, if you kept just messing with high leverage with all of your accounts, I mean, statistically, you'd probably be liquidated anyways.
Mhm.
Indeed. So Philly finally wraps up by saying, "See you someplace, somewhere, sometime in 2021. Hopefully with Justin tagging along." Indeed. So yeah, shout outs to Philly. Thanks for the super chat. Much love. Crypto Caveman just showed up in the live chat. He says, "Yo, what's going on? I'm joining a little late, but what a day for alts. I don't even know what to do. My portfolio is up so much today, and this is madness."
Have a beer, man.
I haven't
That's
made
it.
anything but swing trades all year. Worked out really well. Yeah, I mean, if you're way up, maybe take a little bit of profit. But you know what? Things are looking so good right now. I wouldn't blame you for.
Never feel bad for taking profit.
Yeah,
man.
squeeze.
If you are up 50% on something, might as well just take a little bit. Have that USD on the side for when one of these things dips it, and then you buy it again. I mean, it's just a cycle.
Wouldn't fault you for trying to squeeze a little more juice out of that lemon, though. So.
Yep. I mean, who could? Especially with the price actions we're seeing. I mean, what, Bitcoin's gone up over $1,500 since we've been on this show. I mean, it's craziness right now.
Yeah, Bitcoin currently at 33,453. So it looks like we're mounting another assault on 35K potentially later today, but we'll keep an eye on it. But let's get back into it.
Exciting times. I mean, we do the show honestly for days like this. I mean, usually it's a bunch of noise, but we're finally getting the price action that we've all been waiting for.
Yeah.
I mean, we should all be happy.
Well, let's burn through some more alt charts. MITH here, we're below the baseline. No good reaction. Not really interested in touching it. BCPT is up a big percentage, but that's just because it's just so volatile and cheap. I would
look at its historicity. It's quite wiki.
Yeah, I don't consider this to be super bullish yet. And B, retesting its lows, no reaction yet. If we do get some sort of bounce off the bottom, then that could be cool. But until that happens, it's still in a downtrend. So, Aggie. There we go. I guess we're kind of starting to get a long signal, but there's not really much for us to do. We're really at resistance, which is you can see the local point of control right here above us. I would actually expect Aggie to come back down and retest this area. Not interested in it right now. Still at its lows, not interested. Still at its lows, not interested. Still at its lows, not interested. Air swap token.
Worth its weight in air.
I just don't see anything, any real break in trend to recommend this to us yet.
No.
Yeah, there's nothing for us to do here. It could be given a 3-day long signal soon. Oh, there we go. This is a 3-day trend. That's why I had it marked out. You know what? I think we might have moved sideways out of this trend, dude.
You might be moving sideways out. Yeah, I mean, you have 4 signals on time transformation.
Yeah.
It's one to watch, but it's not ready.
It's watch, but it's not there yet. Yeah,
it's not ready.
CMT, maybe signal soon, but for right now, it's still near its lows. We're not interested. Not a really strong reaction yet. Not interested yet. POA, still below the baseline. Riplo, still below the baseline. MATIC.
That was one of the requests. I know someone was asking about MATIC.
Yeah, I know the MATIC USDT pairing was looking pretty good.
Yeah, most are.
Yeah, most are.
That reminds me a lot of DeFi perp too.
Yeah. I would say right now we're at resistance. This is not the place to buy. You got to either buy the break up here or you got to buy a retest down here. But buying right here is like right in the middle of the range. Doesn't make any sense. You're just as likely to make money as you are to lose money at that point, and so you should sit on your hands. So.
Yeah, and that strategy will lose you money over time.
Yeah, exactly. Don't forget fees. So when you include fees into a break-even strategy, it's a losing strategy, so don't do it.
Yeah.
This is decent looking. Let me look at KNC Bitcoin over here. This is very similar, isn't it? So I'm not sure if this is how heavy this resistance overhead is. You know, if we come back down here and then trade sideways longer, or if we just immediately break up here.
I think you'll know by that 4-hour close. If it closes like that, I think you have more downside.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's reminiscent of most of these, actually. Looking at them at the 4-hour.
Yeah.
Well, not Whopper, but right now there's not a lot of alts that are looking very good.
I think, like, to be honest with you, looking at all these charts, it really feels like the calm before the storm. And you're going to see, like, now you're starting to see these things pop off, like Whopper, Loop Ring, stuff like that. Like, I think eventually all of these will have some kind of retracement back up to their fib levels, you know?
Yeah. That Bitcoin, I think, looks really good in this spot. We're staying above some pretty major baselines. We're above the daily baseline. We held support right here, and then put in a new high. I think VeChain has a lot of room to run here. Came back down and retested support, shown here. And the USD pairing making new highs, which is always a good sign for continued bullish momentum. So we break the trend here, do some reaccumulation, start making new highs. This appears to be current trend. Yeah, we'll keep our eyes on this. I think that looks pretty good.
Speaking of which,
oh my gosh, Funds
David Rice, where are you at? Funds just going to town.
I gotta say, you know, I have been very down on Fun for several years now, for good reason. Look,
because everyone else has.
I was like, anytime now, it's gonna break upwards. Anytime.
Fun. Trading's fun, isn't it, guys?
Yeah. So yeah, TA is perhaps
it's super important to zoom out too.
Yeah. But this does look pretty good. I would imagine you could take this all the way to 43 cents, but if you're not,
yeah, the pumpamentals would suggest that this thing's gonna pump and then dump off again, but we just don't know what's coming.
Yeah, I thought this was a pump and dump here, but we're seeing major follow through here. Was this sort of fundamental news on Fun we don't know about?
What, online casinos are all legal now?
Well,
I don't know if
depends on who's asking.
Any news on Funfair?
Yeah. Why don't we take a quick break and swing over to I don't know, either news or looking at something? I feel like I've been talking for a while.
Yeah, no worries.
And we went through our whole low sat coin list.
Yep, definitely. Let's take a quick break here. I'm going to dive into a few comments in the live chat at the very least. Let's see what happens. All right, got one here from Dark Rico. What did Dark Rico ask? He said, what are our views on the BTC Dominance retaking the daily baseline and the alt season perp? So I guess it's kind of generally what we've been saying. This looks like alt season's ready to take off. I haven't actually looked at the BTC Dominance chart.
We've looked at it every day.
Yeah, I think it looks pretty rough. I imagine we'll at least get a few weeks of downside here because we had such a big rejection candle last week.
Yep.
And this just feels like on the daily, it feels like a little bit of a correction.
Also important to realize that, like, if this, like, it could still break down from here and maintain this trend sideways. Like, this isn't necessarily unhealthy for the space.
Yeah, the weekly trend for Bitcoin dominance is intact. That's this trend right here.
Yep.
is the weekly.
So we have plenty of time to go sideways here.
We can go sideways until March before Bitcoin takes off again to new dominance. Or, I mean, we could actually go sideways until Bitcoin breaks down into a true super alt season.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks
super alt season. You heard it here first.
Super alt season.
I mean, Bitcoin looks like it's got still a bit left in the tank. We very well might mount another assault on 35K.
We absolutely could.
And that's
we
probably
could wake
why.
up into this area again before we break down.
Yep.
Who knows?
And guess what? We'll know that based off of this chart. Like looking at the weekly close next Monday, we're like, hey guys, we overtook it. We're going again. Like we'll know that.
Yeah, this is something you chart it out, and then you leave the lines on your chart and you watch what happens.
Yep.
Oh, whoa!
Dominance, flipping.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Bitcoin really looks like it's ready to take off here, doesn't it?
It sure does.
It sure do, don't it?
I mean, it's already at 33.7 now.
33.7. Yep. This is
so
an
exciting.
Important lesson in buying the dips. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. When you see a 10% candle in a bullish cycle like this on Bitcoin, it's probably your signal to buy. But you know what? I think a lot of people were probably busy piling into shorts, trying to hedge or something, thinking that, oh, here we go, 24K inbound. And might not be the case. We might very well have to tap 45K before we get a major retrace or more. So.
Hey, no one here has said anything about 45K. Where are you pulling this number from?
That's my personal
I've been saying 45 forever.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay, well, I'm still looking at 38.
I'm looking at 45, 60, maybe even 100K this cycle,
Alex,
guys.
remember when I came to you with that 80% retracement theory? I'm like, well, what if we go to 45 and then retrace 80% down to the gap at $9,000? Telling you, it's gonna happen.
Wow.
That would be epic, but I'm not too sure if we're going to fill all that gapage down there. But we do have, I think, we did fill the CME gap with this wick here.
Yes,
and that still leaves another big gap in the 20s.
Below.
Yep. Yeah, so that's maybe where that thesis comes in. And of course, we might have a complete cataclysmic meltdown. Jason, the 80% retracement thesis that would take us down to that 9K gap to be filled.
Well, here's the thing: that could happen in a second, and you would hear the news. Like it could happen like just a wick that comes all the way down, then gets bought back all the way to 14, and then we make another run. But like I said, this isn't something I'm actively trading off of. It's just fun to have theses, you know.
Indeed, for sure. And that wick, that $5,000 wick that we saw earlier this week, maybe that was just a taste of what's to come, right?
Well, I believe that that's true. I mean, if this market is truly going to climb to the price levels that we think that they're going to, then its corrections are going to grow exponentially. So when it gets to 120, I mean, you could see a 40 grand retracement down to 80. I mean, that's not really that ridiculous to think about when you think about market technicals. Like, this will keep happening. That's why it's so important, especially now that we're getting up into these price ranges, to really keep if you don't know what you're doing with margin, keep that shit low, guys. Like, you will get liquidated out here. Like with that wick yesterday, even 5X got liquidated, which is crazy.
Indeed it is. Comment just came in from Dark FTL, and I know we're probably going to roll our eyes to read another one of these, but we do have to entertain some of the newer people in here. We get a lot of these in the general chat as well, and we did cover a question more or less like this a little earlier in the show. What coins do you guys recommend, and when to buy, and how long to hold? Well, that sounds like you just want the full secret recipe, don't you?
Well, I'll tell you what,
forever.
Dude. Yeah, you're basically asking me to live with you because when to buy and when to sell, it's like, well, it's going to depend. So
well, that's why people join the group.
Yeah, if you want signals, we provide those. As a matter of fact, we provide pretty good signals. I will show you what some of our signals look like. So these are some of the signals we are in as a group. As you can see, we are sitting on Maker. Currently our stop is all the way back at $606, and we're just kind of trailing that behind us.
So I do want to point this out. Of those that you're looking at right there, how many of those are in a no loss position though? It's important to note.
Aussie CAD, okay, this is no loss. This is no loss.
If it has a line through the first TP, then you know.
Yeah, if it's already hit take profit, then we moved our stop to break even, and we're in no loss situation with the trade. So this is no loss, no loss. No loss. So we've already hit take profits on all these right here. So our 2 Aussie pairs we're still waiting on. DeFi perp, we're trailing that behind us. This is going to be incredible because, as you guys know, we just made all-time highs on DeFi perp right over here. So we're just kind of sitting on this one. Our entry is all the way back at 2,800. So yeah, we entered right here. I was like, we're above the qualifying line, but I don't care. This looks too good. So.
It's what we discussed on the stream, anyways.
Yeah.
And it played out.
Price XMR, our one short that's still open, or no, we got another one. No loss situation. F, no loss. That's trailing. AAVE, no loss. SNX, no loss. We're also trailing that one. ADA, no loss, but I think we probably hit take profit 2 today.
Yeah, ADA had a good day.
CAD still open. DREP, EOS, and Tomo all still open. I think Tomo might have hit since we looked at it. Or since I posted it, rather. Oh, yeah. So,
yeah,
here. Yeah. Or, wait, no. Maybe not. I think I might have taken Tomo here. Let me see. 109. Nope. Well, wait. I did take it here after all. So we'll just have to wait on that. So yes, essentially, I cannot in any other short amount of time give you advice on where to buy and when to sell. And as far as what coins to buy, well, that's what we're looking at already, bud. So
yep.
We'll continue onwards.
Indeed. So there you go, Dark FTL. The short answer is join the premium if you want. Like the markets are dynamic.
Here's
right?
the thing, yeah.
And so
join the premium if you want signals, and then if you want, we can also teach you how to do this for yourself, so you don't need signals, so you know what you're doing, actively looking for it, and then you won't have any of this uncertainty that you're having right now. Like, when do I get in? When do I get out? Like, what we teach you is how to interpret all of those things through the charts using indicators and systems-based trading, to where when you take a position, you are absolutely sure what you have at risk, what you're doing, and what the TPs are and your stop losses are. So once you have all of that put together, you don't need anyone else. But it is nice to have other people that are like-minded to bounce ideas and stuff off of.
Yeah, we basically can't give you the recipe to the secret sauce, but we can kind of teach you how to make your own. So that's basically what we're working with. So Dark FTL,
teach a man to fish.
Check out the premium group, and you'll likely find it's well worth your while.
I mean, even if you're just following the signals, you got to be happy.
Man, all the money in the market is just getting sucked into Bitcoin right now. Look at that.
Oh yeah, we about to hit 33.8 now. Yep. Well, this kind of blows my 4-hour signal, which blows, but we'd have to get quite. I'm too overextended.
Okay. Yeah, I could maybe get a 3-hour signal in an hour and a half.
Well, actually, nope. No, my other less sensitive 4-hour would be a long, but it's just above the baseline, and Parallax and what just aren't there, so might have to take a pass on this one.
Okay, let's swing out and look at broader markets real quick, then we'll come back and finish up with the news and chart requests, and we'll close out.
Word, let's do that.
That sound right?
Yep.
All right. S&P 500 up today, still kind of retesting the local market point of control. I'm not necessarily convinced. We're still below the daily baseline. This could still be kind of a correction on a continuing fall. But we don't have an active short signal yet. We just have this kind of continuation short. We're still inside the pattern. There's nothing really for us to do here on this SPY. I would classify us as still trading sideways. We have been for a few weeks. Close here, here. This is sideways. At the end of this week, we could be getting a sell signal, finally. We'll see. Same story for QQQ. So far,
never really broke. Like, it seems like all the other traditionals, it seemed like they broke above that pattern for a minute, but the QQQ always stayed within it. Like, look at Are you looking at the okay on the daily?
Yeah, I am. What do you mean?
Okay, maybe I'm looking at. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong screen. That's why. I was looking at the YouTube instead of your live stream. I'm like, this doesn't.
Oh yeah, I think it's the Dow or the.
Yeah, it was the Nasdaq S&P. Yeah, there we go. Never mind.
Yeah.
I was
Okay.
looking at the wrong chart.
The Dow too is still hanging out underneath our baseline and stuff like that. There's really nothing for us to do here on the traditionals. I don't consider these super strong short signals, but they're definitely not long signals either. So until we break out into new highs, I'm not interested in that. And I consider that to reflect a little bearishly on Bitcoin, because Bitcoin does tend to be strongly correlated to the broader markets. Let's take a look at the currencies and CFDs. Dollar continues dropping. This is good for Bitcoin right here. This is good for speculative investments on the markets like our alts. Like that means.
Alex is breaking up.
Hey Alex, I think you're breaking up.
Ooh.
I think you're back. Let's get a little mic check from you. Let's hear.
Mic check 1 2 3.
Yeah,
I think you're back. Yeah, you just broke up a little bit there.
Okay. Yeah, we're starting to get a continuation signal here. So far, there's no sign the dollar is going to stop its slide, and as long as the dollar is sliding, that is going to give us a good chance that Bitcoin and alts are going to continue to rise. Great.
Mm-hmm.
Let's head on over to Forex. Aussie dollar continues to be strong. I've been talking about this for months now. The Aussie dollar is strong over everything else.
You've been talking about Australia forever.
Because Australia is in the middle of summer and we're in the middle of winter. They don't have COVID lockdowns. We do have COVID lockdowns. It has to do with the seasonality of the world. So don't forget, guys, Forex markets heavily fundamentally affected by news.
So are you saying in springtime we should short it?
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe.
But when seasonality switches, yeah, we could see the Australian dollar start to do very poorly against the other assets in the world. But that's still a few months away. So Aussie dollar strong here, strong against the New Zealand dollar. We are about to hit take profit 1 on the Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar long that we have. Excuse me. We're almost back above our entry on this. We entered right here. We got a continuation long signal. Came back down yesterday, but now we're closing back up.
It still looks strong.
Yep. Aussie dollar strong here against the CAD, strong against the USD, very strong against the USD, and strong against the Swissy. So I guess just be long the Aussie dollar. Euro is showing heavy weakness here against the Aussie dollar. That is to be expected. The Aussie dollar is strong, but it's also showing a little bit of weakness against the pound and against the CAD. This does not look like it wants to complete here, does it?
How does the BIXI look considering the lockdown news?
Well, I think the BIXI is strong here, but that's because the dollar is so weak.
Yeah.
And don't forget the major trading pair against the pound is, of course, the dollar. It's the major trading pair against everything. That's why everything is up, because it's down.
I'm just seeing news of a new virus.
I did hear about the new virus in Britain, but they had very good economic news in that Brexit is over. Remember?
Let's keep those spicy keywords off the live stream.
Okay.
I didn't say the C word. I said the V word though.
All right, but Jason, your live stream dropped.
Oh, again, I'm looking right at it.
Brexit's okay, right? Whoa, we just hit 34K.
Yay!
Yep, we tapped it indeed.
Look at us go.
Still going for it.
Yep, yes we did. 34,040. Damn.
Let's finish up with Forex. New Zealand dollar kind of trades hand in hand with the Aussie dollar. It's also in summer right now. Very strong, very strong, very strong against everything. Yeah, I would be long the Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar, short the euro, short the American dollar. We are starting to get short signals here on USD CHF. Yeah, I think this is a right here. We'll be getting a new short signal, I think, on USD CHF. Oh, and the JPY has given us a continuation short signal. I'd be willing to take this. Maybe. I actually don't like trading the dollar yen. It's just it's so sideways all the time, even when it's trending. We're too overextended to short against the yuan. All right, so there may not be much for us to do on the dollar, but there's a lot for us to do with the Aussie. We'll take a look at that at the end of the day, but I think we're already long the Aussie right here. We're long the Aussie CAD and the Aussie New Zealand dollar. So there's nothing for us to even do here at Cracking Crypto because we already long these things. So
sit back and relax and watch them go.
Yep. What can I say? It's good being good at your job. CFDs. Platinum. Oof, continuing very bullishly. We got stopped out of this, unfortunately. As you can see, we hit take profit 1 and then slam back down into our break-even stop. But this looks good for continuation. If you're long platinum, I would not exit. Palladium also starting to make new highs. I consider this to be pretty bullish. We've got a weekly signal here. I would long this. Silver looks ready to make new highs almost. I would at least be surprised if we did not launch an assault on the most recent high here.
34,300 already.
Yeah, so I would look for $30 on ZAG here, and gold lagging the other precious metals, but it's broken its trend. We're in a gold long. We're still hanging on tight. So I believe our take profit 2 is somewhere up here. We're just kind of waiting to see what happens on that. But I think I'd rather be long platinum or silver right now than gold. For whatever reason, gold is heavily lagging the other precious metals. Brent crude poised to make new weekly highs. I was ready to score us a short here. I was seriously looking at it. But that's not going to happen because, as you can see, we got a heavy reversal signal today. Supposedly something about OPEC deciding that they are going to decrease their output. So that should, decrease supply, which will suppress down prices. If supply is down, then prices will go up. So people are looking for that in the future. So prices went up today. I don't know what that necessarily means for the future of oil. I still feel like travel is going to be a little impinged with lockdowns, but we'll see. For right now, the chart says long it. So we're in a corn long. I think, no, we're in wheat and soybeans. So soybeans continuing to do well. Wheat continuing to do well. There's food shortages, especially soybean shortages. So keep your eyes on that. There's corn shortages too. It's already up. Price of corn, which is, by the way, one of our biggest animal feeds, is already up 50% this year, guys. Food prices are going to be through the roof next year. You guys wait and see.
They're already getting there, bud. They're already getting there.
They're creeping up now, but we have not seen anything yet.
Oh yeah, but it's noticeable.
A lot of suppliers and stuff, they purchase futures contracts so that they can get their supplies at a reasonable price delivered at a later date. They're sort of, hedging on an uncertain future. As those contracts expire, we'll expect to see our food prices go up because they'll have to buy the new, more expensive food, not their old contracts. So there's quite a lag in food prices versus what's reflected in the chart, but we'll see more of it. Chinese, the China 50 making new all-time highs. We're along this too, actually. Aussie economy just kind of trading sideways for a few weeks. Same for France and Euro. This looked kind of weak, actually. I would not want to be long this. Indian economy going even more parabolic. Super bullish. If you could get long this right now, I would just get long here right now because it's going to keep going up. Netherlands looking like a long here. We're making a brand new all-time high as of today. We just broke it. That's a long signal if I've ever seen one. I would totally long this chart. As a matter of fact, maybe I'll put that up later today too for our European members. Okay, so I think that's all I really want to talk about for the broader markets. Things of note is that the traditional equity markets look a little suspicious. They've been trading sideways for weeks and they're not making new highs. We're going to keep our eyes on them, but there's nothing really to do with them for right now. If they get worse, maybe we'll take some puts out on some big names or something like that. We'll see. As far as Forex goes, Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar looking great. Euro in the crapper. US dollar especially doing poorly right now. But that is good for us and Bitcoin and speculative investments. And finally, oh yes, commodities going through the roof. You can see it, and not just food commodities, but also precious metals. And those look like they're going to continue to be good longs because when you look at the weekly charts on them, we've really okay. Come on, buddy. When you look at the weekly charts on these things, these have essentially had time to reset and accumulate, and then now we've turned back up. So here we are. We're back above the weekly baseline here on ZAG. On Palladium, as you can see, we just traded sideways for weeks and weeks and weeks, but now we've made a new high. Our oscillator is reset. Boom. This is looking really good. And all right.
Thank God.
No, I hear you, Jack.
Okay, I still think something's up.
I hear you.
All right.
There you
Yep.
go.
Looks like it's restored.
I hear you.
All right.
There you
Yep.
go.
Looks like it's restored. Oof. I don't know. Like I say, until this new router arrives, I'm worried that I'm gonna have issues like this. But my apologies. Okay. Jason, don't worry about restarting your Discord or anything like that. Just stay where you are. I rearranged some elements to kind of deal with that. Fingers crossed we remain online. Alright, we got 20 minutes left in the show, so let's power through some of these requests. We got quite a few lined up. Sorry everybody took a while to get to this request section, but we're gonna get it done here. Alright, let's see here. Alex is, I guess, in his regular form here, and he's rather prepared to take us through the next few. Here we go. This one comes from Bruno Martins. Any opinions on... Right, fingers crossed. This restores it. Let's find out. Alright, I think we're reconnecting. Reconnecting, fingers crossed. We might be back. Yep, I think we're back. Alright, sorry about that, guys, but until
we lost half our viewers, but we love you all, loyal, who are still here.
I think they're coming right back, but alright, so I'll tell you, I know exactly where you got cut off, Alex, and that was right at the beginning of your stellar analysis, so...
Right at the beginning? Okay.
Yeah.
So guys, you can see we came down into my buy area, we traded down in it, and then burst out of it like some sort of, I don't know, butterfly in a cocoon. Something beautiful.
Something
Like
miraculous.
this price move. Yes, something beautiful like this price movement is. I expect us to, this is essentially resistance right here. As you can see, boom, boom, boom. I expect us to come back down.
Yep, I see that. Yep, I can see my stream status gets restored. I really don't know what it is, guys. Well, I do know. I'm assuming it's the router taking a crap, and I do have a new one on the way, but it's unfortunate that it has to be like this.
Not going to help us today.
I'm going to say this for the third and final time. Stellar's at resistance. Don't buy it here. Buy it here.
All right, next. That's it. I can't hang on Stellar for too much longer.
Let's. We're out.
No, I think we're up. We're up. At least my according.
Okay, what's next?
All right, next one is Uniswap. Let's look at Uni for Vladimir.
It feels very bullish. We've broken whatever you would want to consider to be the long-term downtrend right here. I feel like we're at resistance, and we could stand to come back down and maybe trade a little sideways, perhaps even come down and retest this spot one more time. But this does feel like a strong reversal, doesn't it? I would hesitate to be any bearish at all here.
Yeah, it definitely looks poised for a run to the upside.
Yeah. It has been strong the last few days. Like the weekly is incredibly bullish. So essentially, after we closed last week above the previous weekly high, right here, this was the previous weekly all-time high. We closed above it last week. And then yesterday, we retest downwards, make a new high. I would consider this to be bullish enough that you could buy this spot, and we'll most likely continue to make new highs on Uniswap right here, just because of this weekly action right here. Yeah, I would consider that really bullish. We've already retested this area. I would, yeah, I'd buy here. Nothing more to say?
All right, wonderful. I managed to get through that without a single hiccup. Let's get into the next few. We only have so much time left.
Continuation signal was here.
Let's take a look here. I gotta do the graph token, please. GRT from British Dex Mix.
Definitely. I was looking at this earlier today. We potentially have a reversal signal. I like this movement up off of this bottom right here. It remains to be seen if we'll get actual follow through on this. But originally, if you listen to, I think like either Monday or Tuesday of last week's show, I was originally looking at right around 30 cents for the retracement area, and this is where we've essentially bottomed out here. We traded in the spot. We break back above it, above this trend line. It appears bullish to me. I don't want to make it sound too bullish because we're not getting much confirmation yet. But I guess I would rather long this spot than be short this spot, especially because when we do get a reaction off the bottom, it's probably just going to go right up, like we've seen everything else. So this is not a bad spot to be long GRT, I think.
Ethereum making a nice little run up here.
Let's see.
Just broke 1,100.
Yep, it's trailing right behind Bitcoin.
Wowie wow.
Bitcoin looks to have good follow through right here. Ethereum USD is on the 5-minute breaking above our triangle, dude. Drawn from wick to wick. There's no question. We didn't cheat at all. You guys, I drew this triangle right here on the show at the beginning of the show. Boom. Look at that.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like, it looks like a bullish pennant continuation.
We'll see. But we'll see what happens with it. But we are now above it on the 5-minute time period.
There's even more evidence to support us now.
What's some more charts? Let's keep going.
S&M. I know someone had a request for S&M.
S&M. Let's just take a look at.
Yep, thanks. Yep, that's come from Daniel, by the way, in the live chat. I think one other person was asking for S&M, but yes, thank you, Daniel, for the S&M request.
Yep.
There's nothing really for us to do on this yet. I do like that sellers are slowly becoming exhausted here. But we're still below the daily baseline. We don't have any kind of bounce yet. If we do get a reaction up above this and above the baseline, then that could be a buy signal that I'd be willing to take. But for right now, there's nothing for us to do. What's next?
All right, shout outs to Daniel for that one. Move it into the next one. This is going to come from A. Michael. DCR request, please. DCR. Decred.
Decred.
Well, we did not get the breakdown here that I wanted to. So this is I had measured this move out, and this is how it would go if we did get a breakdown, but we didn't. I'm not really sure what to do here. I would say that there's probably not much for us to do. We're too overextended for me to want to take any continuation long signals, and if we did, the continuation long signal is like back here, which did well. We don't have a short signal. We don't have anything new. And the Bitcoin pairing looks kind of crappy. Traded really sideways here, and now it's under the daily baseline. I don't like it. Yeah, it's curled under on the weekly. Look at that. That's no bullish momentum. That's all bullish momentum is just gone. And then the bears start to take over. I would expect DCR to pull back more here. Not interested. What's next?
All right, thank you so much to Michael for that one. And we covered this. Okay, here's one from Agency Waves USDT on the weekly with the Hull 60 showing, please. So let's take a look at Waves.
Ooh, very specific. I like it. I like it. So your thought is, do we get a bounce off the Hull 60 here and continue or not? You know, I feel like we're pretty overextended from the baseline in this spot. I do like this.
Pretty low.
I do like this for a bounce, but we just don't have any sort of signal yet. But, you know, at the moment we turned up, we would get a nice, strong weekly continuation signal, and then it would just be off to the races for waves. So I think I see what you see, but we just don't have any signs for it yet. Like, let's wait for this breakup. Let's wait for the weekly to at least start to curl. Yeah, for right now, there's just not much
a lot
for
more
us to do.
downside if it doesn't.
Yeah, but I do like that we've already had 3 weeks of downside here. And it wouldn't be unusual for us to sweep back up towards the highs, even if we do ultimately break down.
Mm-hmm.
So if you longed this spot,
turn into a double top.
There is a kind of sense to it where we come back up here to retest before breaking down, if we do break down. I think that's really all I have to say on it. It's just not ready for us yet, in my opinion.
All right, let's keep it rolling. Okay, we might have to revisit this one because we misread it. It's actually SRM that Daniel wanted
Serum.
to.
Okay.
Let's look at Serum for Daniel real quick.
Now we're shadow banned. Can't be saying Serum.
The Serum looks pretty good here. I like it on the weekly. We've got a strong break on the daily here. I think this Bitcoin pairing looks good, and even though we're a little overextended right here, I like it a lot. There's definitely room to go. We'll be closing finally above 0 here. And we'll be closing above the dead zone. We'll have rising volatility. It's technically it's an almost valid long signal, except we're too far above the qualifying line. But that's okay because, I mean, we're kind of bottom hunting right now on these coins.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to kind of expect that behavior. Let's look at the USDT pairing. I know that was really bullish earlier today. So you have our downtrend a couple days ago, and then we're just off to the races. I would try and catch Serum on a retest of about 140, 141. It looks like we haven't already retested this area. Yeah, somewhere between here. Maybe we could even wick down and retest 133.
Yeah, top of that range at least.
Yeah. So I want to see us come down on lower time frames and retest this, which makes a lot of sense because this is support here and it's resistance. Resistance. Okay, so lower time frames we come, we wick through, and then we continue onwards, and that's what I think I would expect Serum here. And plus, we have resistance overhead in this spot, so I wouldn't want a long here anyway, right? Doesn't make a lot of sense. So let's wait for it to come back down here and try and find a better entry on Serum. What's next?
All right, so that was Serum for Daniel. Let's get into the last few that we still have left to do. All right, this one comes from Jezzacoin. Could you take a look at Seller and MATIC when it's good for you guys? Yes, we can, Jezzacoin. Let's look at Seller first.
I feel like there's nothing really for us to do here. There's no signs of reversal yet on Seller Bitcoin. So my darn it. So yeah, my feelings are just don't do anything with Seller. I'll look at the USDT pairing. Maybe it looks more geared up. I guess it does look okay here, but there's a lot of this is due to its relationship with Bitcoin. We have a breakout on the USDT pairing. You could take it. I don't like Seller here until the Bitcoin pairing is stronger, and we don't have any strength in it yet. Doesn't look that strong to me. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say on Seller. And then if you, what else did she Jezza want?
MATIC.
MATIC. That's right. I don't know. I would say that right now we're still below resistance on MATIC, however you want to draw it. Like, we're below horizontal resistance, we're below trend resistance. So there's nothing really much for us to do on MATIC right now. But I was looking at the MATIC USDT chart earlier, and I do know that, like a lot of other USD pairs, it's bullish. So we're at resistance right now. See, this is our resistance. This is support here, resistance here. Much like what we were looking at earlier, I want this one to come back down and retest this first. We're kind of in the middle trading range, and I wouldn't want to take it long or short. I just kind of want to grab it down here for a long. But overall, I do consider this bullish. As you can see, we have a break of the downtrend right here. Yeah. I would wait for a pullback on MATIC, or for MATIC Bitcoin to get more bullish and break that resistance level.
All right.
What else we got?
That's MATIC and Seller for Jezzacoin. I have to highlight two comments here. Andre Silva asking for Euro USD. I think we covered that earlier. And Fridolin Kringelbach, please, let's do LRC again. LRC, hold on.
We already did LRC.
Yeah, we did LRC. Yeah, indeed. And that's why I just wanted to highlight these two guys. We will have timestamps available soon after the show. So after the show wraps up, check back on the video. There will be timestamps, so you'll easily be able to figure out where we talked about Euro USD and LRC in the chat. So just check the timestamps.
Basically, I might have looked at Euro USD in particular. I kind of glanced over all the Euro payouts and said the Euro was weak, and that's true. The Euro is weak, but the dollar is weaker, and because of that, Euro USD is pumping. So just something to keep in mind. The dollar is the weakest out of all the pairs. Because of that, anything paired against it will seem strong. But other than that, Euro is trading down against the yen. It's trading against the New Zealand dollar. Of course, as a matter of fact, this is a breakdown where I would consider. I might actually put on a short at the end today. Actually, let me put that on my thing. That looks really good. But momentum not quite there. But yeah, I would say Euro USD is a long. So what else we got?
There you have it. All right, Wayne Arnott. Have you looked at Litecoin USD yet? He had to step away for a while. No, don't think we did. Let's take a look.
No, I did not look at Litecoin USD in particular.
Litecoin.
I'm waiting for Litecoin all-time highs, baby.
I currently like Litecoin here. It's holding strong above our resistance / support level. Yeah, we got a little bit of resistance overhead, but as long as we can maintain above roughly 140, I consider us to remain bullish. because this is the major resistance level that we need to stay above. So for right now, I don't necessarily. Yeah, for right now, I don't see a long signal for us to take, but there's no signs that it's fading either. So keep your eyes on it. What's next?
All right, here we go. What do we have next in the pipeline? This one is THETA for Challenged Investor. Quick look at THETA.
Okay, I haven't looked at THETA in a couple of days. It was kind of over. I put up a THETA long this weekend, and the sheet was broken and didn't go through, and then we just kept pumping. I was very sore about that. I took the long here, so we would have hit take profits 1 and 2. Nothing for us to do right now. We're still waiting for another continuation signal on THETA Bitcoin. It also feels like we're definitely at resistance. We're putting a lot of volume into this area up here. I'm not interested in longing this spot unless we can break back above it. Yep. Keep your eyes on this daily trend, and if we break below it, that is a sign that there's going to be a retracement on THETA. But for right now, we could just keep trading sideways upwards, and then THETA keeps going. We could get a cup and handle here. This is very cuppy. If we just break down a little and retest this area before continuing onwards. This is the weekly trend from all the way back here as shown. We broke it and then broke back above into it.
Now let's make a handle.
Yeah. And then let's look at the USDT pairing. My concern is how we break this more parabolic trend. Well, no, actually, we do not quite break the more parabolic trend. We're still holding it. I would keep my eyes on that for the USD pairing, especially while we're underneath the 4-hour baseline like this. Could end up being a good 4-hour baseline bounce. Maybe down to $1.50, $1.45. Let's get rid of this trend line for now. Let's see what's going on. So yeah, could easily come back down and retest the prevailing trend after breaking down from the more parabolic trend here.
Alex still all right.
I'm still with us.
Yeah,
I'm thinking. I'm sorry.
No problem.
Sorry, the trend just gets so parabolic on THETA. You're looking at this trend, then boom, boom. So right now there's nothing to do on THETA. If we make some new highs, then that'll be a sign it's time to long again. But until then, I would sit on my hands. And I think you and I talked, so I know you already took profits on your long. So congratulations on that. And we'll see where it goes from here.
All right, that is it for THETA. Only have a few left now, guys, and we got to move to wrap the show very, very shortly. So I do want to get these last few in.
I don't want to force a 3 o'clock close, or I don't want to force a normal close today because we did have technical difficulties. So I'm willing to go like 10 or 15 minutes.
All right, brilliant. That's really glad to hear that, Alex. Thank you so much for your generous use of your time. Ryan Godling in the live chat says, how does Adam look? Thinking about it's ready. All right, let's take a look at Cosmos.
Got to long it into the Cosmos. I'm assuming that it had a little bit of a pullback today, considering what it looked like yesterday.
Yeah, we're getting a pullback on the Bitcoin pairing here. This feels like a retest of the lows. We may even fake people out a little more on the Bitcoin pairing and come down here. But after a recovery from here, I really feel like we're gonna see more appreciation on Atom Bitcoin right here. This is just like a quick daily test, and then we keep moving up. On the USDT pairing, yeah, we're holding above the triangle, as you can see. Kind of break out, retest our pattern. I really like this for a potential continuation long at the end of today. It depends on if we get a crossover or not. It looks good. I think it's got a lot of potential. What's next?
To the cosmos.
There you have it. All right, that's Adam for Ryan. Hopefully you liked the analysis. What do we have left? All right, we got a series of requests from Jesse LaJoy in the live chat. Let me know if you want to do all or just some of these, Alex. VET, AAVE, SNX, and Link. I think we touched on Link already, so let's skip Link.
No, we already
I don't think we did.
We already looked at that. SNX,
We looked at VET, that was it.
Yeah. Except it's still going. There's literally nothing else to say. AAVE is also still going. We're in a long. I would just hold on if you're in a long. So far, there's no signs of reversal. And then, what else is there? What's the other one? Link, there is a little bit more to say. This is starting to recover nicely. I think this is really bullishly postured, but we were never able to get a signal because we immediately closed right over the qualifying line as soon as we got just a little bit of momentum. So there was kind of no trade for us to take on Link, but it does look pretty good on the weekly. And if we can close a little bit more strongly above this resistance level right here, then I think we could make new highs on Link.
Makes me sad that I cut my Link long a day early.
Yeah, as far as the Bitcoin pairings go, this is not a bad place to pick up Link against Bitcoin. We're still kind of underneath this resistance support level as shown here, but that that could change by the end of the week. We're just kind of trapped underneath it right now. Maybe we make one more low on Link Bitcoin and then finally go through the roof on it. We'll see.
It's already shaping up to be a very interesting week. So
yeah. I guess that's really all I have to say on this.
All right, brilliant. Okay, guys, we are pretty much, I knocked out pretty much all the requests already. We have one final one from BFlow for EGLD. Anybody, if I didn't get your request in, please cram it into the live chat now. But I do believe
for the last few minutes. I mean, if we don't have any more requests,
I don't. But if it's one that I missed, then you have a grace period to put it in now. But try not to put any more in, guys. Just if I've missed one, and I don't want to neglect someone. But yes, EGLD for now. I think we're gonna go to wrap.
There was just one that I saw that was missed from Tech Engine, and that would be ICX USDT.
Thank you.
I see. For EGLD, we had a continuation signal yesterday. Actually, I think this was an initial PTP long signal yesterday. You could have taken this. So maybe you could long it today. It feels a little late to the game, but the weekly looks strong for continuation. So I say go for it, especially with the environment that we're in right now. You could pick worse. You could pick worse things here. I could see EGLD continuing to rise. There's just no sign of anything bearish, so I don't know what else to tell you.
All right, that's EGLD for BFlow, and let's get the final one in. This is going to be ICX for Tech Engine. Thank you, Jason, for reminding me of that one.
Yep.
Looks good here for a long. I say today. This is a nice continuation long signal. Well, yesterday was a continuation long signal, but we haven't moved so much today that it's no longer valid. We're hanging out here above resistance that we just retested today and held. I like it.
Icon going places.
ICX, like a lot of other coins, we've broken the downtrend stride, or are threatening to, but it's just not there yet. We don't have a bullish enough movement yet. So maybe you could wait and hold off until we break this line, and then it'll be clearer that ICX is going to reverse, and then you can take it.
All right. Okay, final one, and this was one that I missed a little earlier, so I don't want to neglect a nice hash login, but he just wants to see YFL real quick, and then I promise we're moving to wrap.
Let's see what?
YFL.
YFL looks amazing. So, or well, at least it looks amazing when I took it. So I bought YFL here. That felt very good. As you can see, we have since broken up. If you're not already in this, I would wait for some kind of pullback. I don't know where you would set your stop, except like back here, maybe on the other side of this, but then we could wick through that. So there's really nothing for you to do in YFL if you're not already in it. If you are in it, this area is a good take profit. As you can see, this is a nice consolidation area. It's kind of resistance, but after we bottomed here twice, I'm pretty loath to give up this position down here. I'm not taking profits here. I'm just going to wait and see.
Famous last words.
Yeah, I know, right? Still, yeah, look at sellers, just completely exhausted here. There's no more sellers. I love this break. It looks good to me. Let's see if we can get a weekly chart for YFL. It does look really beautiful on the weekly here, doesn't it? We don't have that weekly close yet, but it looks ripe for continuation.
Time transformation would suggest so.
Yep, 3 days strong too. I say just hold on to it, man. Presumably you're asking me because you're a holder. Just keep holding.
All right, there we have it, guys. That would cover today's requests. Unfortunately, we're definitely shutting the door on any further requests. We did cover pretty much everything people have submitted to the live chat today, so I'm glad that's done. Do have to cover one other topic. I'm a little embarrassed to bring this up, but it seems like there was a little bit of confusion as to who was actually awarded the contract to do the timestamping from here on out. Alright, so here's the problem. I was messaged on Discord yesterday by several people. Most of them had different usernames on Discord than they did on the YouTube live chat. Okay, so when I announced Damian Hughes as the contract holder to do our timestamping, I was actually incorrect, guys, and I'm sorry to Damian Hughes. This was resolved during the course of the show, but yes, we have a user that now goes by the name of Crypto Bull, and he has been the man in charge of timestamps. He did put himself over the top with his timestamping of yesterday's show. So my apologies to Damian Hughes, although I think in the DMs it was pretty clear that he didn't get it, but I did confuse a few people. So my apologies to Damian, but yes, well, everybody, welcome.
Sorry. Yeah, that's not great. We're sorry.
Yep. What kind of ship you trying to run here, Jack?
My mistake, guys. There was a bit of confusion with all the names back and forth, and I think there was a bit of miscommunication between myself and Crypto Bull, and somehow I had confused him for the user of Damian Hughes in the live chat, which he's not. So let's do a quick correction here. And Crypto Bull, you are our timestamper. Welcome to the team. Welcome to the staff. Damian Hughes, I might have to send him a little apology gift or something for all the confusion, but you know, this is how we do it here. Sometimes things move and shake really quickly.
You gotta figure it out as it go, just like trading.
Gotta roll with the punches. Sometimes mistakes are made. This luckily wasn't too significant of a one. So that would be it. I do think that Ben onboarded the correct person yesterday, so that's all that really matters. So welcome to the team, and that's it. All right, so we've been going 2 hours 13 minutes, and I do think we've covered it all. I think our analysts are ready to move to lunch, so we do probably going to break here. We did kind of more or less cover some of those leading stories earlier in the show. Sorry for the technical difficulties, guys. Probably get a new router in the mail any day now. Hopefully that fixes my issues. All right, it's bittersweet, says Cryptable, but thank you. Yes, it is bittersweet to Damien at least, but you know, some people win, some people lose. That's just how the markets, you know, claim victims and winners. So welcome to the wild west of crypto.
Bull had a better strategy.
I guess you could say I pulled the rug out from under Damien, but
rugged him.
I rugged him, but this is
you yammed him, dude.
Yeah, he got yammed really bad, but unfortunately he seems like a good sport, and I'm sure we might have actually 2 copies of Timestamps coming up later today from the looks of it, but I just. Anyhow, guys, that's really it for today. We do got to wrap it. It's been a great show.
See who does it better.
Yeah, indeed.
Who
But,
won that?
well, we've
It's a
already
bidding
got
war
it.
now.
Yes, we've got it dialed in. All right, gentlemen, it's been a good one. Thank you, everybody who joined us today. Moving the wrap. Follow us on the Discord, discord.krakencryptocurrency.com. That's where you can find us. Final words to the analysts.
You can go first, Alex.
It's real and it's spectacular.
Yeah, I mean, the alts are coming in hot right now, guys. I mean, Bitcoin, we just saw over the course of this show. I mean, what did we run up on Bitcoin over the last 2 hours? Let's see here, measured move. Yeah, that's a 6% move in Bitcoin in like the last 2 hours. That's incredible. So looking at these things, make sure that you guys are taking care of your capital, because don't go FOMOing into these positions thinking things that only have to go up or only have to go down. We could absolutely go sideways. And then if you put too much margin on, you're going to get liquidated and find yourself at the same price that you would have been at taking profit later. So just make sure you're trading carefully. We're in a very volatile time, kind of uncharted waters when it comes to price action on Bitcoin. And I mean, just take care of yourself day to day, and we'll be here every day letting you guys know what's going on.
Alex, final words?
Trade safe.
He went first.
Nothing.
Oh, okay, my mistake.
Yeah, he went first.
All right, that's it, guys.
I
Moving
said
the
my thing. Come on.
I said
Oh,
my
yeah,
thing.
You had the cool little Seinfeld reference. I always loved the Seinfeld references. So
You did get it. All right.
much
Nice.
love to Alex. Yeah, my brain
Shrinkage!
blanks out, kind of like the router's upload does sometimes. But it's been a good 2 hours. Thank you to everybody who joined us. Much love. See you tomorrow.
Yep, hit that like button, guys. See you tomorrow.
you.